Welcome back. The details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting with Presidential Advisor for Health Affairs, Dr. Mohammed Awad Tajuddin, to follow up on procedures by the government against the spread of coronavirus pandemic, as well as ongoing vaccination campaigns. During the meeting, President Sisi instructed to expand inoculation all over the country and facilitate supplying citizens with different kinds of vaccines which are available. The head of state also directed to continue awareness campaigns for citizens regarding precautionary measures against the infection, especially in dentistry areas and places such as governmental institutions, schools, universities and hostels, with the aim of maintaining the government path to preserve the people's health. Prime Minister Mustafa Mabouli presided over a meeting on Tuesday to follow up on the progress of a number of projects implemented by the Armed Forces Engineering Authority. The meeting tackled the Progress of Houses for Egyptians project, part of President Sisi's initiative to develop the governorate's capital and big cities. It was attended by the head of the Engineering Authority, General Ihab El-Far, who reviewed work at projects to revive Old Cairo. El-Far said the implementation primarily prioritizes 5 main areas: Al-Hakim bin Amir, Allah Mosque area, South Bab el-Zuwayla Haret el-Rum, and Bab Zuwayla Hussein Mosque area and Darb el-Labbana. He reviewed developments with regards to evacuating unpopulated buildings and slums in targeted areas for development. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry on Tuesday reiterated Egypt's support to the role played by the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees in helping refugees. In a video conference addressing the first international ministerial conference on UNRWA held in Brussels and co-chaired by Jordan and Sweden, Shoukry stressed the need to furnish sustainable funding to the agency. The top diplomat emphasized that revitalizing the political track of the Palestinian issue is necessary for achieving Palestinian people aspirations for an independent state to establish just, comprehensive and durable peace in the Middle East. Armed Forces Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Osama Askar on Tuesday witnessed the main stage of the 2-level command centers project dubbed Bashir 2. The multi-day project was meant to examine readiness and ability of personnel to fully understand and carry out planned and contingent combat tasks in a professional manner. The project was carried out by one of the armor units of the 2nd Field Army as part of the annual plan for combating training of the armed forces. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor Hanafi Gebeli, emphasized the deep-rooted Egyptian-Hungarian relations behind the current positive rush for enhancing them, as exemplified in the reciprocal high-level visits. The remark was made as Gebeli met with Hungary's President János Áder at the start of the visit to Budapest. The Hungarian president said the two countries have many shared aspirations and concerns in line with their historical relations. Egypt condemned a terrorist explosion outside a hostel in Liverpool City in the United Kingdom. A statement issued by the Egyptian Foreign Ministry said that Egypt's government and people express solidarity with the government and people of the UK in the form of all terrorism. The state reiterated Egypt's stance on the importance of combating such crimes and working on eliminating them. Police said a suspected bomber who died when his homemade device exploded in a taxi outside the Liverpool hostel was an asylum seeker who is said to be a mentally troubled Iraqi Syrian. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla met with Jordan's King Abdullah II and Queen Rania on Tuesday at the start of a tour of Jordan and Egypt. Later, the Prince and Camilla visited Al-Maqdas, or Bethany, beyond the Jordan, and will meet with representatives of humanitarian organizations, including the United Nations Refugee Agency. On Thursday, Prince Charles will head to Egypt, where a reception is to be held for the Prince and Duchess at the Great Pyramids of Giza. Prince Charles is scheduled to participate in an interfaith discussion in Egypt. The Saudi-led coalition in Yemen said on Tuesday it has killed over 130 Houthi rebels in the past 24 hours in strikes in and near the northern pro-government bastion of Marib and Al-Baida provinces. The coalition said in a statement it has destroyed 60 military vehicles in the latest raids. According to the statement, the operations were carried out in Marib and Al-Badia provinces. There was also reported fighting on a separate front along the Yemeni's Red Sea coast. The coalition said they targeted 4 Houthi positions along with the western coast. Elsewhere, Houthi forces pushed south along Yemen's Red Sea coast. Three people were killed and 33 others injured in twin suicide bombings targeting Uganda's capital Kampala on Tuesday, with police blaming a domestic terror group linked to the Allied Democratic Forces for the attacks. Police foiled a third attack, recovering an improvised explosive device at the home of an alleged suicide bomber who was shot and injured, and were in pursuit of other members of the group. The details.
Scenes of chaos prevailed in the Ugandan capital Kampala as terrified residents fled the city's center following 2 coordinated explosions by extremists. The result was the killing of 3 civilians and the injury of dozens, while police said that 3 suicide bombers also died in the blasts. Police spokesman Fred Enanga said the bomb threats are still active, especially from suicide attackers, blaming the blasts on the Allied Democratic Forces. The twin explosions occurred within 3 minutes of each other. Both were carried out by attackers carrying explosives. A possible attack on a third scene was foiled by police, who pursued and disarmed a suspected suicide bomber, according to Enanga. One blast was near a police station and the other on a street near the parliamentary building, according to police and witnesses. Body parts were seen scattered in the street, and later some lawmakers were seen evacuating the parliamentary building nearby. At least 33 people are being treated at the city's main public referral hospital, with 5 critically injured. Ugandan officials have been urging vigilance in the wake of a string of bomb explosions in recent weeks. Police said Tuesday's attacks bore the hallmarks of the Allied Democratic Forces, an affiliate of the Daesh militant group in Central Africa.